everybody, this is Bug-Ass Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Dark Knight Returns Joker figure. So before we take a look at Joker, let's take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So first up, he comes with your standard DC Multiverse base, but he stands pretty well on his own, so he really doesn't need it. Up next, he comes with the horse and saddle for the Build-A-Horse. And as you can see, I already have the whole thing, so I will be reviewing the rest of this wave very soon. Up next, he comes with his data file. There's a shot of the figure. And if you want to read that, go ahead and pause that now. Up next, he comes with this knife, and this was very, very difficult to get into his hand. It is very soft rubber, which that really doesn't bother me, because I've noticed that the hard plastic weapons tend to break, especially like knives and stuff. So with rubber, it won't break, but that just means it's very difficult to get this into his hand. And finally, he comes with an alternate left hand. So there he is with the alternate left hand. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the head sculpt. I think McFarlane Toys did a really, really awesome job on this head sculpt. It looks really good. The sculpt of the hair looks really good. It's got some paint variation to it. For some reason right here, that light green's a little heavy. But even though this is a really, really nice Joker head sculpt, I don't think it quite accurately represents how he looks in the graphic novel. The original Mattel version, I think this was from like 2016 or so, I think this one looks exactly like he did in the comics. So even though this isn't perfectly accurate, I still like it. I do wish it would have been just a little more accurate like this one, though. All of the details on Joker look very nice, though. He actually uses that print tech. Like, he has some printed shading to the teeth there, some variation to his skin tone and around the eyes. So yeah, even though this isn't an accurate head sculpt, I still think it looks really nice. The texturing to his tuxedo looks really good. I think the only time you actually see this is during the talk show scene in the graphic novel. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think you see the texturing for the rest of the graphic novel. I could be wrong about that, though. The tie looks really good. It looks like it's blowing in the wind. Now, one of my main complaints with this figure is the figure either has really stiff joints in some places or really loose joints in others. Like on his left arm, it's very, very loose. I'm not sure why it's like that, but straight out of the package. If you get it up like that, it tends to stay. But other than that, that is a really, really loose joint. So now let's go ahead and go over the articulation on Joker. He has a ball-jointed head that can look all the way up. He can't really look down that far. He can move his head side to side, and he has some tilting. He has ball-jointed shoulders that can move all the way out. They can move really far. This one doesn't have any butterfly joints there. He doesn't have any swivel at the bicep. He has double-jointed elbows that can bend all the way in. He has ball-jointed wrists that can move up and down and spin all the way around. And this hand is very loose. As you can see, it just wants to wobble. And this hand, it's tight. So that's really weird that some of the joints on this figure are loose and some aren't. I think he has a ball-jointed waist. This is all one sculpted piece, so I want to say it's a waist joint. He can move back just a little bit and down just a little bit. He can move side to side. He has hips that can just about do a complete split. This right here is hindering him a little bit. He can kick forward just a little bit. He can kick back all the way. He has swivel at the thigh. Single jointed knee that's very crunchy. He can also move side to side very slightly. He has ball jointed ankles that can move down just a little bit, up just a little bit. And they don't want to move. They just get to there and then they stop. And he has swiveled the toes that can move up all the way. So now let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here he is next to the Mattel version. I was curious, and you can actually fit this head sculpt, the alternate Mattel one with the batarang in his eye, on this head sculpt. The ball joint does come out with Joker, but the head sculpt's wide enough and it sits tight enough that you can actually do that. You'll probably just have to take it off to put it on like that. The standard head sculpt for the Mattel version, it just barely sits on there. If I could get the peg out of the head, the McFarlane one, I'd be able to mod it out to fit all of these head sculpts. So yeah, you can definitely do that if you want. I think that's probably what I'm going to do with this one. And finally, there he is next to Armored Batman. So overall, I do really like this figure, but the head sculpt isn't accurate to the comic, and the articulation is weird in some places where it's loose in some and too tight in others. But despite that, I do think this is a really awesome figure, and I'm happy to have him in my collection. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.